Okay, guys, here we go. One of the questions you're going to have to answer on your study guide is, why is the SA node the normal pacemaker of the heart? Now, if you looked at question number 9 and how the heart produces and generates its own electrical activity, you'll remember seeing this. So this is pretty straightforward. Now, remember that in order for the heart to produce an electrical impulse, right, for the electrical activity of the heart to continue, the normal pacemaker of the heart is the SA node. And sodium and calcium have to leak in. And because sodium and calcium are positive ions, that's going to cause the resting membrane potential of the SA node to become more positive. And when enough sodium and calcium leaks in, it's going to hit threshold and then activate those voltage gated channels, right? The sodium and calcium voltage gated channels. And that's going to cause depolarization of the heart, and it's going to produce its electrical activity. Now, as you can see, the resting membrane potential of the SA node is here. Now, if your SA node takes a dump, right, it fails to work, then the next pacemaker of the heart has to take over, which is the AV node. And the AV node has a lower resting membrane potential. So what that means is that it's going to take longer for sodium and calcium to leak in. And because it takes longer for sodium and calcium to leak in, that's going to drop your heart rate. That's why the intrinsic rate of the SA node is between 60 and 80. The AV node, 40 to 60, right? And the Purkinje fibers are 15 to 30. Now, the same applies if your SA node and your AV node fail to work. What's the next pacemaker? The Purkinje fibers. And the Purkinje fibers have the lowest resting membrane potential. That means because it has the lowest resting membrane potential, it's going to take longer for sodium and calcium to leak in to reach threshold. So the reason that the SA node is the pacemaker of the heart is its resting membrane potential is closest to threshold. So whatever pacemaker has the resting membrane potential that's closest to threshold is going to be the pacemaker of your heart. So again, if your SA node fails, then the AV node is going to take over, and because it has a lower resting membrane potential than the SA node, it's going to take longer for sodium and calcium to leak in. And then if your SA and AV node take a dump, then the Purkinje fibers are going to take over. And because they have the lowest resting membrane potential, it's going to take even longer for sodium and calcium to leak in to reach that threshold to ultimately fire. And if your SA node and your AV node take over or take a dump, then your Purkinje fibers become the pacemaker, and you can't do very well with a heart rate of 15. You'd be like a weeble, right? You fall down, then come back up, fall down, come back up. And you don't want to do that. You want to go to gateway. So anyways, that's why the SA node is the pacemaker of the heart. And if your SA and AV node fail, you have what's called third degree heart block. And you need a permanent pacemaker. All right. So I hope that helped.